What's going on, everybody? Northeast Kayak Fishing TV. We don't usually do episodes on Monday, but tonight we got a special episode to give you some updates on some things that have changed because of the Rona. It's ruining everything for everybody. So we're going to go over some updates on that and talk about the fishing team and all that stuff. We got Greg in the house tonight. What's up, Greg?
What's going on, brother?
Just trying to survive the coronavirus.
You and me both.
I would imagine work has been quite hectic.
Yes and no. It's been interesting.
Everybody's got the coronavirus.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So,
yeah.
But it's turning everything upside down,
Yeah, it is. It really is. I think a lot of it's unnecessary, but I don't know. I'm not a expert on viral diseases.
I mean, it's pretty scary one way or another,
It is.
People are dying.
Yeah, it's definitely got me worried, and I actually had the first person that I personally know die yesterday. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't a close person, but I mean it's somebody that I know. And they passed away yesterday from the coronavirus. They were an elderly person. So I mean they're the ones that are going to suffer the most from it.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
So, guys, stay away from the elderly people. Everybody, stay away from the elderly. Just go fishing. All right, so let's get right into it. 411. It was supposed to be stage 1 of the Tight Lines Worldwide Any Bassin Elite Series. So, what's going to go on now that Connecticut has canceled all April tournaments?
So, I think the best way to kind of go about this would be to kind of explain what the game plan was for the whole series and kind of how we're adapting to what's going on right now. So the Elite Series had the 5 stages. You had April 11th at Mansfield. We have May 16th at Beach Pond. I forget the date in June. June was going to be Powers Lake. August was going to be Bantam, and September was going to be Glasgow. So we're going to have the 5 stages, and the goal for that was going to be, aside from having a winner from each tournament, the total cumulative bag for the per team at the end of the 5 tournaments, that was going to be the winner of the division. So your 5 tournaments combined as a team, that was going to be the winner of the division. Obviously, April 11th is not going to happen. So for right now, the way we're adapting to that is we're going to have 4 stages. Stage 1 is now going to be May at Beach Pond. And April 11th, because we still want to be able to do something, we're doing an online solo tournament, elite style. Every fish counts, 12-inch minimum. But it's going to be the date of the tournament for the hours of the tournament.
What are those hours?
It's going to be 7 to 3.
7 to 3.
7 to 3. So to kind of keep the flavor of the Elite Series and what we're doing is you can choose from the 5 lakes / ponds that we were using for our Elite Series. So you can choose from Mansfield, Glasgow, Powers,
Beach,
and what's the one I'm missing? Is it Mansfield? Did I miss Mansfield or Bantam?
Bantam.
Yeah, so you got Bantam, Mansfield, Glasgow, Powers, Beach. You could pick one of those 5, go fish it for that day during those hours, submit your fish. We're kind of doing it and keeping it in Connecticut with those lakes to kind of keep the playing field even. I know some states are different right now in terms of quality of fishing. Maine is still like 20 degrees from what I'm hearing. Massachusetts, they're catching giants. So we're kind of just trying to keep the playing field even at that point. Unfortunately, from what I'm being told, though, is Rhode Island's kind of buckling down on the traveling across state lines thing.
Yeah. Well, it's really more of if you're coming in and then leaving, it's not a big deal. It's the coming in and staying here that they're not too fond of right now, because a lot
Right.
of New Yorkers are trying to escape the hectic
Yep.
spread of corona in their state, and a lot of people in New York, especially the wealthy, have houses here, like in Newport and Narragansett and along the
Yep.
coastline. So they're coming to their houses here and possibly spreading it. But I mean, you can't blame them.
So there's one we're kind of working on the fly with a lot of this, as many companies are. So one interesting thing about one of our lakes, Beach Pond, is half of it's actually in Rhode Island.
Right.
So as far as I know, the only public launch, is in Connecticut
Uh,
for Beach Pond.
Rhode Island actually added one on the Rhode Island
Perfect.
side. Uh,
Perfect. I'm glad you told me that. So that I wanted to kind of relay to our Rhode Island anglers that, hey, I know there's a lot going on your side, but if you're willing to just commit to Beach Pond, come on in from the Rhode Island side. You know what I mean? Launch on the Rhode Island side and come on and fish. Again, I've never fished it personally. I don't know what the lake is like, but
it's tough.
if that's kind of if that's kind of your way around, everything,
Right.
it's half and half. So come on in.
Is that opening weekend?
Well, no, opening weekend isn't the 11th anymore. April 11th was the opening weekend for us, but they opened it, I think, last week.
You
The governor did.
might have to look into that because Beach Pond is a trout stocked water.
It doesn't matter. They lifted those provisions on it.
Oh, did they?
Trout fishing opened. I don't know the exact date, but I think it was like last week sometime. It
Okay.
was all part of the governor not wanting people to be elbow to elbow on the bank,
Right.
fishing for trout with their kids. So they opened it already.
Right.
Um,
Because I'm just saying for
far
the
as
Rhode Island side, because Rhode Island stocks it with trout. I don't know if we might have to launch from the Connecticut side.
that would be something you guys, the Rhode Island guys, got to figure out.
Right.
Um, I'm just trying to come up with some extra options. I want to have everybody be able to fish and enjoy it. The other reason why, the other flavor we're trying to keep with this online tournament is, so, like I said, at the end of the stages, we were going to have the winning team, which was the largest cumulative bag of fish for the team. That they were going to be the winners. We're also going to have an angler of the year for this series too, which is the solo angler with the largest bag of fish cumulative between all the tournaments. So even though we're only going to have the 4 stages now, April 11th solo tournament, those fish count towards your angler of the year fish.
Okay. And April 11th is not a team tournament.
It is
That has been transitioned to solo event.
correct. And the reason we're doing that is because everybody's kind of all over the place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people don't have partners now. You know what I mean? Some people can't make it, can make it. So we're just going to do it the fish solo, and just to kind of add some extra purpose behind it. Your fish as a solo angler, those count towards your angler of the year fish for the solo portion of our elite series. So there's some meaning to this online portion too. Um, so yeah, like I said, we're kind of doing what we can with what we got. In anticipation that May gets canceled, we're going to have 3 stages, and then we're just going to do another online tournament and pick one of the 5 lakes. That's the contingency plan at this point.
Okay.
We don't want it to get there, but um, they've canceled all permits in Connecticut up until April 30th, and our May tournament is the 16th. So, you know, we need to reach the
Right.
breaking point.
Right.
We need to reach the mountaintop of this to start coming back down. So if we haven't reached the mountaintop yet, and the peak of this virus thing, they're still going to want to take some extra weeks on the back end, I'm sure.
Exactly.
So,
Which, I mean, it looks like it's just going to keep going because now they're doing more and more testing. And obviously, the more testing you do, the numbers are going to go up. I mean, that's common sense.
right.
There's a lot of us that have had it or have it and not know it. I mean, and it doesn't even affect some people. So those numbers are definitely going to go up the more that the testing is done. So
Right.
hopefully the experts will realize that hey, no matter what we do, the numbers are going to go up. We just have to look at the severity of the outcome here.
Right. I mean, it's definitely a unique situation. I really think that the online kayak fishing, you know, um, type of style of bass fishing is definitely coming to the forefront
I
with
know
all of this.
I know a few bass boat guys that have got their little sit-ins all set and ready to go for these
Yep.
online tournaments because they still want to compete, but they can't compete because they can't have their weigh-ins and stuff. So they're getting in those onlines. I believe one is watching Chris Williams. He's from Vermont, and he's a co-angler up there. Um, and
I know.
he just joined KBF and signed up for the monthly challenge because he's not going to be able to fish events up there because of the coronavirus.
Right.
What's up, Jack?
Is
Jack,
that Tibbins?
yeah, he's in the house.
What's up, Jack?
Hashtag beat
Um,
Tibbins.
there he is. Um, so, I mean, I know a lot of the big boats, they're going to just, using the hog trough and going inches, just the same way with the tournament code. They're
Yep.
just going out on their boat. It's the same exact thing, you know?
Honestly, I wish everybody would do that. I wish all tournaments would go to that. It's so much better for the fish and the fishery.
Right. And, I think what people just want right now is they just want to be able to fish. Like everybody looks forward to opening day.
Right.
For the Northeast guys, it's, fishing show season. And it's just like, we can't wait till we could go fishing. And this is kind of, I guess, in essence, prolonging the competitive side of this.
Right.
I mean, we all wanted to go to Gunnersville, and I just heard tonight that some guys down there crushing it,
Dude,
like 20 inches.
G Man was bed fishing today.
Okay.
I saw him on his Facebook page, bed fishing. We would be down there straight Jack and Jaws right now, man. Oh,
Yep.
it hurts. It hurts.
I know.
Like stabbing me.
But Chad and the KBF, they made the right choice. They made the right call.
Absolutely, they had to do it.
I mean, they're taking a huge hit on this. God bless them for what they
Right.
do.
Speaking of that, anybody watching, please sign up for the challenges, the state challenges. I mean, that's the only thing that's going to keep KBF going. If they don't have an income, I mean, they have to. You still have to pay those people's bills. They have an administration, and they rely on that money to live, just like we go to work every day. So if you're not signing up for these challenges, they're gonna fold up, and then we're gonna lose out because they're the only one doing these state challenge things on that level.
Yep. So, I just think aside from that, thank God for the state challenges. Thank God for Chad Hoover. Thank God for kayak bass fishing because they kind of set the tone for what we got to do now to kind of keep our sanity since we can't go do competitive stuff in person with each other.
Right.
So yeah. So with our series and our elite series, that's kind of where we're at right now.
And
it sucks.
you have to be an any bassin member, correct?
Yes, you have to be an any bassin member. We were going to, with the in-person tournaments, for one tournament so people could come experience, you were going to be able to buy the insurance to fish the one tournament. We can't do that now with the online tournament. So obviously we're at a stalemate with that. And yeah, like I said, it's a real bummer. We're kind of working on the fly with a lot of things, and I hope a lot of people sign up for our line tournament, get a little taste of the every fish counts kind of thing, and we got people coming back wanting more. I really think once we get into the stages and we just our first tournament, everybody's first tournament in person, when things go back to normal, it's just going to have that much more meaning behind it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, so, and what's new with you?
I just gotta say, Chris Williams is still watching, and he said he might switch to kayak fishing permanently from the co-angler world. So that's great news. Great news.
I was a co-angler. I switched.
Yep. Jack Tibbins, this sucks. Can we fish already? I know, Jack. I mean, we can fish, but we can't like compete the way we want to fish.
Yep.
Just got to do the online ones. I mean,
Yep. I
uh,
mean, Ken ran a great tournament last weekend from what I saw and
yeah,
heard. I had to
60
work.
people, 60
Yeah.
people, man. I
You
uh,
know.
I skunked. Me and early season fishing suck. Uh, I went to two different places. One place I went to, I saw bait busting all over the top. I mean, these bass were chasing bait balls, and there was bait busting all over the top. I couldn't get a single bite. Like 4 hours I stayed there. And finally, I was like, I'm gonna go to another place. Went to another place, and it was just pickerel after pickerel, perch, pickerel, all on a jerk bait. I couldn't catch a bass.
Our boy Matt took first in that tournament.
Yeah, dude, he just came out of nowhere and boom, like 91 inches. Here you go.
Yeah. So shout out to Ken for putting on a great show, running another great tournament, keeping everybody sane. Like I said, I wish I could have fished. I had to work, so I'm hoping he does another one.
Yeah, I'm sure if
Because
this keeps going the way it is, there'll be a lot more. I had plans on it. I had talked to Ken before he did his because I wanted to make sure we didn't butt heads because I was talking about doing something for like a small business or helping somebody out. And then we talked before the show, and you brought up the same kind of idea. Um, so
So we're working. I'm working on another uh, tournament. That's another one of my announcements. It's not finalized yet. It's going to kind of be like a knockout kind of style tournament. It's going to be a 2-day tournament,
yeah,
and you're going to cut the field in half for day 2.
okay,
So we're working on something like that. I haven't figured out what I want to do. I might. What I might do is I might do a bigger size bass for a limit, maybe like 14 inches, 15 inches, just to kind of
right.
mix it up. Uh,
Make you work for it.
yeah, might do it like a little closer to top water season for us in the Northeast, maybe like end of May, June, something like that. Again, it's just
It'd be
I'm
better for
mulling
me.
it around.
I can't catch a
Yeah,
fish on a jerk bait.
apparently not a lot of us can. Apparently, some of us can though. But yeah, so that's an idea I'm mulling around. We've got the Any Bassin online series that starts this week. So that should be a good time. So there's a lot to do.
Right. There's just not that in person camaraderie, the
Everybody wants to see everybody
right,
in
right.
you know
And bus
big
balls
brand.
and
Yeah,
you know,
right.
shove it in
So
your face at the end that you won or Jack won again.
yeah, I could go take everybody's money and um, but the like I said, there's a lot to do. There's enough to do to keep us entertained. But it's not going to have the same feel as seeing the crew for the first time of the year and
Right.
all that stuff. But that's coming. It'll come eventually.
Jack says
Uh,
just need a jig. Jack, I throw a jig a lot and I threw the jig quite a bit. If I wasn't throwing the jerk bait, I was throwing the jig and I didn't get a single bite on the jig. Uh, I don't know. I guess it was probably just the bodies of water that I picked. I don't know. Wasn't
it's
my
different
day.
everywhere. Man. That's the
Yeah,
way it seems right now.
yeah. Some ponds are on and some ponds are not. I went to one place, the second place that I went to where I caught all the pickerel. That place is drained down, so I kind of figured maybe it consolidated them a little bit because the water level was probably like 4 feet lower than normal.
Right.
But I still couldn't get them to bite.
Yep. So I'm sure the switch is going to flip sooner than later. So I'm looking forward to that.
Brian tuned in. Brian Baxter. He already hashtag beat Tibbins. He threw it up there already. Oh, that's great.
So unfortunately, Jack's first tournament, he was running the solo division for Any Bass, and he had to postpone that. So I think his was April 18th, so that got postponed as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
our first one here for OSKB is April 18th and 19th. They haven't said anything to me yet, but
classic.
yeah, the classic. They haven't said anything to me yet, but we'll see what happens. I may end up having to do some kind of an online thing and just scratch the classic. I don't know.
We'd be in big trouble if we didn't have Tourney X right now. I can tell you that much
Yeah,
right now.
definitely. Shout out Dwayne Wally. He's saving fishing. saving us
Yeah,
from
man.
COVID-19.
So, so yeah. Other than that, just kind of, you know, going through the grind. Getting out there and waiting for these state challenges and these other tournaments to start, and just gonna go to work and hopefully we get back to normal.
Hopefully,
So,
you still plan on doing the trail events if they happen?
oh yeah, yeah. I was looking forward to it. Kind of bummed we're not doing it. The May 2nd one in New Jersey. I'm assuming they're not going to have.
Yeah, New Jersey's getting hit pretty hard with the coronavirus, so
Right.
I haven't heard
So then we
anything
got
yet. But
Lake George on the 23rd. I'm sure that's up in the air.
yeah,
I mean,
that one's still a ways out. So hopefully we can get that one in.
yeah. I mean, I'm mentally preparing myself to not be able to go to an in-person live tournament until like June.
Yeah,
Everything else before that's going to be a bonus in my mind.
right.
That's just my opinion. Um,
You just broke
but
my heart. You crushed me.
I'm sorry. I'm a realist.
I
But
know, I know. It's
the reality of it is there's a virus. The reality is there's a problem. The reality is it's spreading, and the reality is people are dying.
yep.
There's no, they can't come up with a solution to stop it, and there's no cure for it right now, other than people just getting over it on their own and their system fighting it off. And
That's why I say when
so,
this thing all started, they should have just shut everything down. 14 days, nobody goes nowhere, and we'd be done. We'd already be done and over with.
but it is what it is.
Yep.
So as long as everybody else, this is kind of like a call to arms. Everybody, come together, handle their business. Run some tournaments, support each other online, support each other with the online tournaments, and we'll all get through it together and weather the storm, and that'll be that.
Uh,
This will be something to talk about next year for opening day.
Brian Joseph has a good point. On a positive, hopefully it helps the lakes recover that host all the big boat tourneys that rip them off of all the beds. So, I mean, he's positive mental attitude. There's a reason.
Absolutely. The spawners are getting a break, I'm sure, in a lot of spots, and
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna relieve some of the pressure on some of these better known bodies of water.
so they'll all be giants for topwater season. It'll be great.
Oh, it would be fantastic.
So
I love the late summer. That's my favorite time to fish.
I'm digging the new logo, by the way. I meant to tell you.
Thank you.
Shark.
Thank you. It took me a whole 5 minutes. It took me 6 weeks to figure it out and 5 minutes to make it.
I like it.
Thank you. I don't know. I guess I was like, this is simple. How did I not think about this before?
Yep. So.
And congratulations on joining the team.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Yes, me too. Me too. I think we've got quite the team going. We got a lot of good sticks, a lot of guys that make good video content, and then some new guys that showing some good passion for the sport. So I tried to split it up. Some guys that have been doing it a while, some guys that are all around anglers that aren't just bass fishermen, and then the new guys.
And you're on Instagram now, so that's good.
Yes, thank you, Greg, for pushing me to do that.
No problem.
Greg's my mentor. He messages me and tells me what to do.
You needed an Instagram, dude. How do you have the podcast not do an Instagram?
Yeah, I know. It's because I run my own Instagram, the Ocean State Kayak Bassin Instagram, and then I was just, I don't know, putting it off for whatever reason. Now I got 3 Instagrams, 4 Facebook pages.
Yeah, I just can't have it my own. I just use the companies. Just roll with it,
Yeah, I might end up doing the same thing.
Less work, but
yeah.
So we're gonna do what I wanted to tell you is we're gonna do a giveaway since you do have an Instagram now. We're gonna give away one of our Tight Lines Worldwide beanies and a couple decals. I'm gonna put up a post on Instagram later on tonight. We'll run it for a couple days. Like the post, follow us, Tightlines Worldwide, follow Northeast Kayak Fishing TV, and we'll draw a winner in a couple days. I'll put all the rules up, kind of get everybody following everybody here from the show.
Sweet. You guys heard it. Giveaway. Tight Lines Worldwide beanie. You got to like the pages, both pages. Like the post, share the post, all that kind of crap. Greg will put
I'd
all the
grab it,
rules.
but I don't. Yeah, I don't have it up here with me. I have everything downstairs. Otherwise, I'd show you. But I'll put a picture of it up. We'll beanie a couple decals, and like I said, get you some more followers over there on your brand new Instagram.
Yeah.
You know,
We got, I'm working on Northeast Kayak Fishing TV decals. Those should be next couple of weeks. Hopefully, I'll have those. We'll be giving those out. I'm hoping to have 2 different versions. One with the logo version, and then one with the Northeast Kayak Fishing TV, the whole thing spelled out.
cool.
So
Cool.
everybody can rig up their kayaks with those. And the website should be good to go very shortly. I'm working on it with GoDaddy to switch my domain name to my actual website because I don't know. There's an issue with they had no issue taking the money, but they have an issue with switching the domain.
Was it Weebly?
Yeah,
Weebly or whatever.
Yeah,
Weebly's.
I used Weebly to make the site, and then GoDaddy for the domain name, and now getting the two to mesh together is beginning to be an issue. They haven't actually taken the money, but they've told PayPal that a pre-authorized amount has been accepted, I guess. I don't know. But it hasn't come out of my bank yet. But their support Weebly's support is horrible. GoDaddy, I've talked to them and they say I have to deal with Weebly. And Weebly is yet to respond in 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't deal with them. So
I was told that they did a site for somebody else and they had no issues. I don't know.
I think Beast Coast actually uses Weebly. I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
Yeah. It was very simple. I mean, it was simple to use and get set up. I don't know. Maybe I should have just bought the domain name through Weebly instead of GoDaddy, but GoDaddy had it for 99 cents. How could I turn that down?
No. Yeah, you got to go for it. But so I got a couple other things regarding our online series and our elite series. So for the online series, the night before, we're going to release the identifier code on Tourney X. I know a couple people had a question about that. For our elite series, the way it works on Tourney X with the every fish counts thing is when you look at your profile on the app, it's only going to display your top 22 fish per angler, but it's going to keep a running tally of all the fish below that too. So when you do fish these tournaments and you're seeing only a certain amount of fish, you have to catch 23 fish to get to this point.
Right.
I mean, so honestly, but it's a unique setup the way it's going to run through the Tourney X. I talked to Dwayne, so I knew exactly what was going on with it and like that. So this way,
it still shows the total though, right? The total goes up, but the number of fish doesn't.
So if you wanted to view all of your fish, you got to log on to the website.
Right. On
the app, it's only going to display your top 22 fish, but then it's going to say how many fish you caught and what your total is. So don't get discouraged on it. It's just going to keep adding your fish.
Right. Do you you use the app or the website?
Well, I use the app to submit my fish.
Yeah.
And then when I judge, because I'm one of the judges too for it, you have to have a separate account, as you know.
Yeah.
I just going to use the website for that. And then
I use the website even for uploading my fish. I use the website for everything. I don't use the app at all.
Okay. Yeah, no, I love the app. The app's great. It's just that's some of those things, especially since we're going to have a lot more rookie anglers in terms of using these online formats and stuff like that,
right?
Or submitting a fish on a board. A lot of these big boat guys are coming over to try this out. They're going to be kind of out of their element.
Right.
So, I encourage your fellow kayak angler, everybody out there, if you got a big boat guy who wants to try to do this, help him out. You know, don't, make it so he knows how to submit the fish properly. KBF standard rules
Right.
and penalties
Just
apply,
just make sure you have the video recording when they lose their first fish off the board, because that's going to be fantastic. They're going to freak out.
Well,
They're going to freak out.
yep. As long as their phone doesn't go with
Right.
it.
They are they're in for a treat when they figure out that it's a whole new game plan. It's the hardest part of our tournaments is keeping the fish on the board, not catching them most of the time.
Uh, so yeah, it's going to be cool. And one other thing that's going to be nice about our online tournament on the 11th is it's really going to force anglers to, you know, figure it out. What lake? It's all about, quantity. Yes, quality could matter, but you got to go somewhere where you can figure out where you can catch them
Right.
and catch them steadily. And you've got 5 places to choose from. What do those places have to offer? Um, and one other thing that's unique about the online tournament is you can change lakes. So if you start off on April 11th at one lake and you by 9 o'clock you've got nothing, you can leave and go to another lake. But once you submit a fish from a lake, you're on that lake. You commit to
Uh-huh.
that lake.
Awesome.
So
I like
it,
that.
the concept behind it is kind of like you're on a big lake, and you decide you're going to move to another spot. You know what I mean? It's so you can really work and figure it out if you want to. But at the same time, if you're on a lake and you've only caught 2 fish, do you want to leave fish to go find fish? I mean, it all depends what you're going to do.
Right.
And most of 4 of the 5 lakes are on 395, so within a highway of each other.
Right.
I,
And that's not far from me. I mean, I'm about 20 minutes from 395. So I mean,
right.
I can get to all those places.
Yeah, hence Beach Pond being half in, partially in Rhode
I
Island.
am not fishing Beach Pond.
Everybody doesn't like that. I can tell you who does like Beach Pond. Jack
Yeah,
Tibbetts
I
likes
know,
Beach
because it's a tough place to fish, and he knows he can go there and catch them, and everybody else
Pond.
can't.
Mansfield's a great place. It's huge, but that's other side of the state. But at the same time, like I said, we focused on picking these lakes so they were closer to the state lines, so anglers from out of state would be more likely to at least come experience it. So, like I said, it should be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
I mean, I came in
It's good.
second at Beach Pond last year, but it wasn't pretty. It was tough.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we get good weather. And the way it's going to be my first rodeo, honestly, running one of these tournaments. So for me, I get to kind of get my feet wet and work out some kinks in terms of running this,
Right.
because it's not like an impertinent. So then by the time the first stage one happens, at least I'll kind of have my feet wet with, how to get the fish judged, because I'm fishing it too. So I got to have another angler. We're going to pick a random angler from the tournament or whatever, and he's got to come on. He's got to judge my fish, and stuff like that. So we're going to have multiple judges for the tournament. So this way, everything's kind of even across the board with everything.
Right. With it being
Um,
online, you don't really have to judge the fish until it's all over.
Exactly. So that's the other thing too. So for me, with running the tournament, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, so I got to get off the water, I got to judge the fish, I got to set up a table, I got to do the tent. So the way we're doing our stages is check-in is an hour before the tournament starts. You can launch a half an hour before the tournament starts. Lines in at the time the tournament starts. So kind of like the KBF does,
Right.
just works. It allows for um, it's just going to benefit the judges. So like for us, check in at the end of the tournament for the final weigh in, if you'd like to call it, is an hour after the tournament ends. That allows us all to get off the water, go through the fish, get set up. Everybody can get off the water, load it onto their cars, and then we're done.
Right. The
Um,
I'm just gonna tell you how we do it when our live events. What we do is after the tournament ends, we only judge the payout spots. Like we won't deal with the the lower places until afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's not standing around for hours waiting on all these fish to be judged. We'll judge the payout spots first, and then do the payout thing, and then when I get home, then I'll judge all the fish.
Well, that's why we're going to have multiple judges, because we're just going to bang right through them all.
Yeah.
If we got 4 judges and we've got 100 fish, that's 25 fish a judge. Just go right through them and we're done.
Right.
So everybody leaves there knowing where they are. We can, if anybody's got any kind of, grievances or anything like that, we can address it right there. Done.
Makes sense.
And yeah, so like I said, tentatively, 4 stages now instead of 5. We have an online. If May gets kiboshed, we're going to do another online one. Same format, pick one of the 5 lakes, and just kind of work on the fly. That's it.
Great.
And I know a lot of our anglers, like I was talking to Greg from Rhode Island and stuff, a lot of these anglers are getting restricted on being able to do this and participate, because we were a Connecticut Trail Series. We are going to do an online tournament is coming. We're just, there's a lot getting crammed into this weekend.
Right.
You've got KBF state challenges. I'm running a couple private tourneys for the task force guys. We got the Any Bassin online series. So it's just a lot all at once. So it's better to kind of just keep it, sporadic throughout the season, stuff like that. So,
right.
And yeah, so.
And I'm going to interview the winner of all these events, by the way.
Yes. So that's the other thing. So, Justin, I'd like to thank you for being our official reporting podcast for our Elite Series, Everything Tightlines Worldwide. So anything regarding our series, what's going on with it and stuff like that, we're going to first report it here. Justin's going to take care of getting all that information out for us. And I look forward to having a great partnership with Northeast Kayak Fishing TV. And, this is another example of people coming together that met just because of fishing.
Right.
I met you because of kayak fishing, and, we become friends, and you're doing your thing and I'm doing my thing. And, the networking is just fantastic. And, the Northeast kayak angling community as a whole is just awesome.
It really is.
And there's just some hammers up here, and I've met uncountable, amounts of great people through this. And, Ken Wood, Jason Gardner, you, Jamie from Any Bassin, Derek Brundle, just to name a few. I would have never, it's just through the networking in the kayak community. It's just fantastic. So we're just going to grow together and, stick together and get through this.
Yeah, I look forward to it. All right, I'm going to announce the team. Do you want to stay on and be right here while we do it, or you want to say your thanks and watch from the other side?
Whatever works for you, buddy.
All right, we'll keep you on here. Maybe you have something to add. So we're going to announce the final 10 guys for the Northeast Kayak Fishing TV team. These guys are going to come together and provide tips and techniques and on the water content for the kayak fishing community. And I'm going to put it all together, and we're going to create some episodes to give you guys so you can have something to watch and learn from. So first is Brian Nunziato. He's from the Adirondack area of New York. He is a fitness instructor by day and KBF angler by night and weekends. Wally Ulch, he is from Massachusetts. He is a new to tournament angling, but he does some saltwater stuff and freshwater stuff, and he videos everything. I mean, this guy, he's got tons of videos, and he does a lot of DIY kind of stuff. He doesn't dramatize his videos. He doesn't make it all like humorous and cracked up. He gets to the point and instructs on how he did things and why he did things. Kenneth Mitchell, he's from Bangor, Maine. Ken is a all-around angler. He fishes trout, salmon, panfish, smallmouth bass, largemouth bass. He's a big boat guy that has transferred into the kayak world. Sold his bass boat. Uh, got himself a Predator PDL. Um, Ken also runs Kenco Fishing, which is a soft plastic bait company, and Fishing Grab Bag, which is a subscription type tackle service, like your Mystery Tackle Box, Lucky Tackle Box, kind of like that, except with quality products, not garbage. Ken goes out and finds local bait makers and gets their stuff for the box, and he also gets your Strike Kings and things like that. He doesn't throw the garbage in there. I have one of his boxes. I don't know exactly where it is, but I got like a red eye shad and some uh, finesse baits and stuff like that that were all quality stuff, and it was $19. You can't beat it. Next, Greg Matakakis, Tight Lines Worldwide. Great on social media. As you could tell, he forced me to get Instagram and get all this kind of stuff going and pushed me to make a better logo. And so Greg is got the passion and the leadership to make things happen. And I definitely look forward to working with Greg in both the Tight Lines Worldwide, the Northeast Kayak Fishing TV, and both sides of that. Next, Jack Tibbins. He's on here watching the show. We make jokes, hashtag beat Tibbins, but we're not joking. Hashtag beat Tibbins. The guy wins everything.
So at the end of this season, we should do a Beat Tibbins episode, and you should interview everybody who's beaten Tibbins for the season.
For the record, I've fished against Jack twice, and I beat him once. So, I mean, it's 50-50, Jack. 50-50.
I'm just saying, we could have like a Beat Tibbins episode. Then it could be like a roast of Tibbins.
Oh, it'd be great. So I hope he's still watching.
He signed off, probably.
Yeah. Next, Derek Brundle. The guy's got an amazing story. Definitely an inspiration. He is one hell of an angler. If you don't know, he was KBF Rookie of the Year this past season. He was KBF Northeast Angler of the Year this past season. A guy can just catch him. No matter where he goes, he can catch him. And he's also become really good with the camera. He knows how to commentate his videos and show what he's doing. So he's going to be a big contributor to what happens in these episodes, especially the how-tos that we put on these episodes. Dustin Stevens. This is one of the newer guys that I was talking about before. I met Dustin through social media, and then I met him at the New England Fishing Expo. He came and introduced himself to me, and I could tell right away that this kid had a great passion for the sport of kayak fishing. And he just seemed like that loyal, just the vibe that I got from him. I definitely knew that this kid had something special. And then shortly after that, he made the Kayak Center fishing team. And then we were in talks about joining this team, and we worked out the details. So I'm glad to have Dustin on. He's new to the tournament world. He's looking into the saltwater world also. So, I mean, the kid's definitely looking to become a great angler. I keep looking for comments to make sure everybody's getting their comments in. Next is Anthony Noda-Roberta. He is from Long Island, New York. He started Long Island kayak bass fishing in 2016. If there is anybody that has done a lot for the kayak fishing community and the community he lives in himself, it would be Anthony. This man has done fundraisers for hospitals, done fundraisers for families in need. He's done fundraisers for children that have had to have operations, uh, and he's also a great angler. Uh, Won Angler of the Year 3 years in a row in Long Island. He won the KBF trail event on the Peconic River in 2018. Great angler, great guy, and also makes great video content. You can check out his channel. Just do a YouTube search for Long Island kayak bass fishing, and he will come up. Next, Rich Biggie. Rich is a great angler. I mean, this kid went the whole 2018 season with no electronics on his kayak and won Lake George. And anybody who's fished Lake George, I mean, the place is deep, it's huge, and he did it with no electronics. He fished the Oneida Trail, came in third, I believe. I may mix some of these up, but Oneida, he was third. Charles River, he was fourth. This past season, he was the Angler of the Year at Hudson Valley kayak bass fishing, and he is a great angler, but new to videoing. So, like I said at the beginning, I mixed this team up with all different ranks of experience. You know, some guys have more experience fishing, some have more experience videoing. So I like to mix it up so we get all different types of content to give you viewers the best stuff. And last but not least, Joshua Cabral. He is from Massachusetts also, and Josh has been probably one of the biggest supporters of Northeast Kayak Fishing TV from day one. From the first episode I made to the first logo that I made, he was right there to give it his feedback and sharing stuff and helping us out on social media. And he's also a good angler here in the southern New England area. He fishes Rhode Island trails and Mass trails. And he's videoing with a 360 cam and makes some great social media content. So we look forward to working with Josh and growing in both his angling and videoing as well as the episodes that we make. Brian Baxter, anyone that beats him gets to cut his mullet. Oh my god. Speaking of the mullet, Jack, how is the mullet coming? I haven't seen pictures in a while. Greg, have you seen?
You don't want to see it.
Jack, you got to send me a picture of the mullet.
If there's somebody who can pull off the mullet, it's Jack.
Yeah, he's definitely got that redneck look to him. You know what I mean? He can rock the wife beater and the mullet and the Budweiser can.
I guess you could do whatever you want when you beat everybody, right?
Yeah.
So,
man. Yeah, that was great. So that's the 10 guys we got, and myself. I guess you could call me the team leader. I'll be contributing also. But yeah, what do you think about it, Greg? What do you think?
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be fun. I look forward to meeting these other guys too. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet or talking to,
Right.
And it's just another form of, networking and meeting new people, and it's gonna be a good time. Especially since you got a couple of my buddies on there too, Derek and Jack. I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a great time. I think we can supply the viewers with some great content, some humor.
Maybe when this all blows over, we could do, like an open for any KFTV and Thailand's Worldwide. We could go pick somewhere between Rhode Island, Connecticut. We can get everybody together.
Yeah.
Just do an open.
Candlewood.
Kind of just
Candlewood.
Hey, whenever you got, just say the word. Say Candlewood. The word and buckle up.
Candlewood will make everybody come to it. I mean, you'll get the New York guys to come to it. You'll get the Mass guys to come to it. You get the Rhode Island guys to come to it. Everybody wants to fish Candlewood.
It'll be. I'm sure. I think it might be a little hard to get a permit for kayak fishing, but we'll try. But we should do something for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if it's an outing, just to get everybody everybody together, it'd be fun.
Right.
Be a good time.
Maybe we
So
can get to a park somewhere or something that has a pond and
yep,
do like a cookout thing maybe.
yeah, that'd be fun. We're gonna need it by the time we get done being
Yeah, no.
quarantined.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
I've already had enough. Luckily, I'm an essential employee and I still get to leave my house and go to work. Um, but tomorrow I was told to stay home because unfortunately, if people aren't driving, their cars don't need to be fixed. And today I worked on one car. So
Jesus.
boss was like, yeah, you're taking tomorrow off. Uh, so I'm going to go
It's
fishing. I'm going fishing tomorrow.
gonna be good weather. I took tomorrow off. I'm going fishing.
Oh, yeah? Where you going?
Can't tell you.
Oh, man.
No, I honestly don't know yet.
Yeah, me
Kind
either.
of, I'm kind of like in like just blah mode because there's no challenges or anything yet. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, do I want to go far, or just want to stay local just to go catch fish? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm kind of up in the air. I also
Yeah.
haven't been able to sleep in like 2 weeks, so I'm also kind of
I'm probably going to
getting
sleep in because the morning's going to be chilly.
yeah.
So
It's
I'll
supposed to
probably,
be nice this weekend though. We're supposed to
yeah,
get some good weather
this weekend I will be out all day, both days.
just in time for all the tournaments to start.
Yep.
So
I'm hoping to put up 100 inches on Saturday.
do it,
Just put it to
do it
rest right off the bat.
where you caught them, so I can go catch them too.
All right. As always, it was a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me,
Um,
bud. I appreciate it.
and it's a pleasure of mine to be able to supply everybody here with the updates and the news. That's kind of why I started this thing. I didn't expect it to blow up this fast, but I'm glad it did, and definitely looking forward to what's going to happen here.
And don't forget, I'll put up the post uh, later on tonight. It'll go for the next couple days for that beanie, the decals. Get you some extra followers and stuff on your brand new Instagram.
Awesome.
Should be good.
I appreciate that.
All right, brother. Well, be well. I
All right.
appreciate it.
You too. And we'll
Yeah.
talk to you. I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Oh yeah. I want you to call me and tell me about all the giants you caught.
Yeah.
So
Or the ones I didn't catch.
yeah, the ones that got away, right?
Yeah.
They shook it at the boat.
All right, buddy. Oh crap! I just hung up on him. Sorry, Greg. I hung up on you. Guys, that was a fun episode. Jack, it's always a pleasure to have you in the comments. Wally, nice to see you in here. Brian, thanks for tuning in. I hope I didn't miss anybody. TR Vigs, yeah, Wally. Greg, I hung up on you. I'm sorry. Anybody else who watched? Chris Williams, Chris Catucci, Dominic Eno, thank you guys for tuning in. Bobby Big Gun, he's tuned in a few times. I hope you're enjoying it, Bobby. Greg, I hung up on you. I'm sorry. I hit the button. My finger slipped on the mouse. Guys, thanks for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. It was a great night. I'm going fishing tomorrow. I hope everybody else can go fishing tomorrow. Stay sane. Don't worry. Keep the corona 6 feet away. Fishing pole length away. Tell everybody to stay away. If not, 3/4 ounce jig to the face. So I hope everybody enjoys the weekend, even though it's only Monday. I hope this nice weekend everybody can get out and enjoy the weather and get some fishing done. So tight lines, good times. See you next time. Share that post for a chance to win Tight Lines Worldwide beanie and decals. See you guys on the other side.